Hello everybody, my name is Connor. Sometimes people call me NobleAsta, and I am here with another Dofi game. We are playing against Enel, and not only are we playing against Enel, but we are playing against one of my favorite people in this whole world, my friend Gecko. He has done so much to help me get good at this game, and I mean, he's got a lot of work cut out for him because I'm still not good, but I love playing against him. It's always a good time, and I picked this game to go over because the other game I got completely slaughtered in, and I think this game I wanted to talk about what I did wrong. I have an idea of a couple things I did wrong, and I would love some more feedback from you guys, of course. So my opponent, Mr. Gecko, plays Flampe? I butcher her name every time. But it takes one of his life. Now he's at 3. I tap 3 to play Doflamingo blocker, so I can sort through my top deck and see what I got. And my cat is so excited about it. She's like, yes, we love sorting through our deck. And honestly, she's so right. We really do. This deck, I don't feel either. This deck either doesn't run a lot of things to sort, or I just don't see them. So seeing Doflamingo here, great. Here's my first mistake. I swing 5 into Enel, and he ends up taking it, gets the trigger, gets Cracker, and this Cracker proves to be a problem for me the entire game, or a majority of the game. And I think afterwards, I asked for some advice, asked for some tips, and swinging. Leaving leaving Enel at more life until I establish a board seems like the play, especially because most people are playing Rush Enel right now. And my friend Gecko has a bit of a hybrid list going on, and I really want to try his list. I'm going to see if I can bully him enough to give me his list. But, so, I'm thinking I gotta get rid of Cracker, but I want a Dofi ability. You know, the last game I played, I didn't get the Dofi ability. So I want to. And I don't know if that's the play, because, you know, they do come in rested. But I'm trying to decide what I want to do. And I think what I decided to do is I go 6 into Cracker. And my Gecko goes ahead and counters it out, I'm pretty sure. Yep. He gives me the blocker Sanji. He knows that Cracker is a threat. And I tap my remaining 4, and I play out Weevil, and I draw a card. I draw a Gecko. I'm like, okay, that's a counter. And I get more counter in my hand. I have a decent amount of counter in my hand, and I get a pretty sizable body on board. I really do like the Weevil. He's probably my favorite card in this. Like, there's so many cards in this deck that I really like, but I think Weevil is definitely one of them. My opponent swings 5 with Enel. I counter out with the Gecko we just picked. And I'm trying to do some math, figure out how to get out of this. I 0 cost event, trash 10 cost Kaido, and I still need 1k, I believe. So I end up trashing that Gecko, mostly because I don't think there's anything in my trash really that he can pull. Although it did connect with me when I was playing tonight at a different tournament. He can pull Piranhas, he can pull blocker Dofis out of trash, so that's something to consider. And then my opponent then of course rejects Weevil, so I'm in a rough spot again. But I believe we're on 7 Dawn turn, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm counting. I believe this is 7 Dawn, and I'm like, I have to get rid of Cracker. Like, he is providing too much pressure. I don't really have much in my hand. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I just swing into Cracker and see if he takes it, and if not, then I bottom deck, but then I'm like, I don't want to waste my swing. Realistically, I think that probably would have been a better play. So I go ahead, bottom deck Cracker and Flamante, and then I swing into Gecko. That was Enel and Gecko combined. I swing into my buddy Gecko, who is playing Enel. Gecko, you're killing me, man. Just go back to playing Gecko. Actually, no one wants that. And he ends up taking it, so he's at 1 life, and I'm like, okay, like, we're at 4 life, he's at 1 life, and this is where I just really struggle. So he swings 5 into lead, and I'm this is me not being familiar with what Gecko's running. I get a Weevil out of trash, and I'm like, okay, like, fine. So he ends up playing, I'll put a picture of this. This card is insane. He basically, I read it here. Did someone say Kami? He gets to play 7 cost Enel for 4. That's what it boils down to. Out of his trash. I'm like, what in the world? So he swings 7 into Dofi, and I'm like, okay, like, I have to counter out. So I trash Kaya and Gecko to counter out. He taps 4, I believe, or 5. He taps 4, and he plays Kikinojo, and I think, I think from this moment on, I really lose control of the game. And I know why, for the most part, which is great. That's progress, baby. So we put up our blocker Dofi, and we are sorting through the top. We're hoping to get some board presence, something on the board. I think that is a good idea. What do I end up taking? I think I end up taking, or I think I put Gecko up there so I can leader ability, and then, oh, I don't like the way I put that back. I'm getting better at putting things back. But yeah, so this is absolutely where I start to lose the game. So I'm counting what I have going on, and I you know what? I don't hate how I put that back. I think I'm trying to figure out. Oh, you know what? No, I take it back. I do. I was trying to figure out if I could use Dofi ability and then draw, and I don't have the Dawn. I just one short. So I'm reading Enel here, trying to remember what he does, and I'm like, okay, like, in my brain, in my little brain, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna swing into Enel. He's not gonna want to trash his top life because he, you know, I don't think he would. I don't actually. Enel effect with a trigger. What am I doing? So I go ahead. I play Gecko, out off of the top of my deck. And I'm reading it just to make sure I understand it, and I think I'm looking for a I think at this point I thought I had Mihawk in the trash for the 2K, but I take Dofi, which I like the idea that I took Dofi, and I swing here into Enel just to try and get the body off board, but he ends up countering out pretty good, which I should have expected because he had a big hand. And so, yeah, I'm interested how you, the viewer, would have played that turn, being where you are. Like, if you were in my shoes, how would you guys play? So he swings 7 into Gecko, and I gotta let Gecko go. And then he swings 7 into me, and so I leave Kikinojo up because I'm so desperate for him not to gain another life because I want to kill Enel. But I think that's where I misplay. But he goes 7 into me, and he swings 7s, which is such a pain in the ass. And it's one of the things he's taught me, and it's one of the things I don't always do, but pain in my ass. So he Enels again, and I'm like, dude, I thought we were homies. Like, what are you doing to me? And passes turn. So his board is looking terrifying. I have nothing out on the board. I can't keep anything alive. I do have 10 Dawn at this point, though, I believe. So that's, at least there's that. But I don't think I haven't seen 10 cost Kaido. So I go ahead, and I think the one thing I did well in this game was I Dofi'd and then with leader ability. So, you know what? Like, I gotta give myself some credit. That's something that I may not have done in the past. So good job. Good job, Connor. You're slowly getting better. And honestly, love that for you. So here I think I should have swung into Kikinojo, but I'm like desperate to get rid of Enel. And I think I really should have just played around Enel, gotten rid of Kikinojo so there's less swings, and, you know, figured something out. So I tap 4, play Weevil. I'm trying to keep bodies on board. You know, I'm trying to have something that I can swing into him or into, you know, his board. And I think there's a chance that he has 4 in hand this turn. If I live and nothing dies, I could have gone for a game. But this game was 2 days ago at this point, so I don't remember. No. So he swings 7 at Gecko Moira, and I I'm tempted to let it go. I want to. Alright, I'm tempted to block. I'm tempted to counter out because I want to have that body. So I give him the 2k counter. And he swings 7. I think he swings 7 into Gecko, and I'm like, okay, fine. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I have a blocker. I have, one. I have a blocker. I have 2 life. Like, he can't kill me, so at least there's that. But we finally see Perona, so that's great. So he then plays another Russian L, and I'm thinking I'm safe. I'm not, and I get another Weevil, and I'm like, okay, like, well, at this point, like, what do you do, I definitely spent too many of my resources trying to remove Enel when I should have tried to remove Kikinojo. And my Peronas are just allergic to me. In the games I play tonight, I see Peronas more often, but I really enjoy this list, but I think I need a list where I can sort through the top of my deck more, because Perona does not like me. I don't know why. I think she's great. Wish she liked me a little more. But it is what it is. So I go ahead, tap 4, play out Boa Hancock blocker. I swing 7, and I think I swing 7 into another. I think I swing 7 into another Enel, and I play out the blocker. I think I wasn't sure what was sorted at this point. And there's another Perona, so I'm like, oh, cool, now I'm seeing my Perona. And I remember telling him, as I'm, like, looking through this, because I got the super pre-release, and the judge, and I remember telling him, I remember being like, well, I may be getting my ass kicked, but my deck looks good. And that it does. And honestly, that's what I'm about. I don't know if I've ever mentioned, but my dad told me when I was playing baseball as a kid, you don't have to know how you play, or you don't have to play well, you just have to look like you know what you're doing. And I embody that in this game. So, I swing into life, he takes it, he Enel effects, and I'm like, okay, and I decide to block her up, and I think, yeah, because at this point in the game, I'm pretty sure I'm like, there's nothing I can do, I take this L, and I definitely feel like I spent too much time trying to remove any of the Enels, and those guys are sticky, so I think my best play might have been, see, he gives me the 2k, counters out, and I'm like, I got nothing, dude. I think, swinging into Kikinojo, I don't think at this point would have helped, but it would have made it a little closer, maybe. So he goes 7, and I block with Law. He goes another 7. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I block with Boa, and then he just loads everything up on Enel, and he gets it. So, and I'm like, where are my Peronas? Where are my Peronas, dude? So yeah, I think one of the major things I did wrong, and he and I talked a bit about after the game, is I spent a lot of time trying to remove Enel when I should have KO'd Kikinojo. I should have gotten rid of Kikinojo, because yes, he would have gained a life, but it's 1 less swing on the board, and I feel like I feel like it's more manageable, weirdly enough, and then just not being able to establish a board. That's something I've noticed is kind of if I can't establish a board with Dofi, I feel like I kind of get rolled a little bit. And yeah, I'm really excited for Dofi to get the buffs in OPO7, and I really am enjoying him so much right now. He's definitely one of my favorite decks, and he's gonna become one of my mains, I think. But if I remember correctly, I think we finished up Odin tonight at locals, so we've got a couple more Dofi games, and then we'll be switching to Odin for a bit while I get the only thing I need for Purple Yellow Croc is 2 Bon Clays, so we're almost there. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and please, if you have any way that I could have played that game better, comment down below, let me know. It's the whole reason I started this channel, and just don't be a dick about it, okay? Like, I know I played bad, you don't need to tell me. kind words go a long way, okay? But that's gonna do it for me, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.